Today I share the interview with Shatha Barbour. She opened up Hera Hub Phoenix, a co-working space that is spa-inspired and geared toward women entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur herself, Shatha talks about why she opened up Hera Hub and what it's like to be a Muslim businesswoman who didn't have anyone like herself to look up to and have an example, so she decided to be that person herself. It's a terrific interview with a dynamic person about a cool place. Stick around. My name is Sky Lucking, host of Courageous Creatives, the YouTube channel that elevates you to your highest self using inspiration, education, courage building, and community. Today is Motivation Monday. On Motivation Monday, I bring in guests that are entrepreneurs, business owners, motivational life, business, and love coaches, and other people who are leading by example and will inspire you to be your best self. If that sounds like something you would be interested in, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you never miss a video. I met Shatha Barbour in a very auspicious place. It was at an international women's event in Arizona held at one of my favorite places, Fabric. I actually missed Shatha's speech, which I was so sad about. I just went to the restroom and came back, and there was something about her that made me think, I have got to talk to this person. I don't know what she's about, I don't know what she talked about, but she looks powerful and she looks interesting, and she clearly had something good to say because she was on the stage. When I did come and chat with her, I found out that she was going to be opening up a co-working space geared toward women entrepreneurs and boss ladies, and I was all about it. In fact, I was so passionate about this space and I loved this idea and Shatha herself that I offered to do stencils for her lobby wall and one of her office walls, and you can see that in a time-lapse Tuesday that I'm going to post tomorrow.
My name is Shatha Barbour and I run Hera Hub Phoenix. So Hera Hub is a spa-inspired co-working space, like a shared flex space for women, business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals. It's really a landing space for women of all industries that need a place to just thrive, to get their work done, to collaborate with other like-minded women, and just grow their businesses and their professions. About a few years ago, I actually met the founder, Felina, in San Diego, and I fell in love with the mission of what she was up to, which is really to empower women, business owners, and entrepreneurs to take their businesses to the next level and find a space that really works for them and resonates with them. So we created this spa-inspired atmosphere here in Phoenix because we felt like there really was a need for women to have that landing space. And I fell in love with the mission of really helping women, business owners, and entrepreneurs, whether it's locally or globally. Well, I come from a really corporate background, so I spent a lot of time in the pharmaceutical industry before moving out to Phoenix, and when I did move out here, I decided to take a break from the corporate world and spend time with my kids, actually get to know them because I never saw them at corporate. And in the meantime, I co-founded a nonprofit with some friends that were really focused on education for our kids and like the local community. And through that, it just sort of melded together in my own creation and my own story of trying to fit my corporate background and business background with all this nonprofit startup world that I was doing. And then when I met Felina and the mission that she was on, for me, it just, all the dots in my life started connecting. All these different skills, all these different roles that I had taken on in the past started to make sense. Between starting something from literally ground zero to also working in a corporate environment, doing everything from operations to global strategy. And this now has more of a mission, it has much more of a purpose to really empower women locally and globally. So it felt right, and it felt like all of my skills finally came together and something so much greater than me. Wow, it's been a great welcoming here in Phoenix because there's so many women's groups, and a lot of the women's groups here have just completely thrown themselves behind me and just supported me in every way, between Athena, Valley of the Sun, Nawbo, the National Association of Women Business Owners, Ellevate, there's Conscious Connections. There's just a wide variety of groups that when I presented them, like, hey, I'm thinking about actually opening up this women's, co-working space and shared flex space, everybody was like, finally, we want this, we need this, can you please just give us a space of our own? So it's been really such a great support system, and it's been welcoming like wide open arms here. So I'm super excited to just provide the service and just be of service to the women here in Phoenix. I would say just find your tribe, find like-minded people, and just take the plunge, because it is so worth it. Once you just keep moving, you just have to keep taking those baby steps. You just got to put one foot in front of the other. Things will fall into place. And when you meet the right people, everything kind of collides and helps move you in that direction. And the fantastic thing about Phoenix is that it really is a generous city. People here are nice, they're welcoming, they'll help you. So it's just a matter of getting out of that comfort zone and just asking that if you need help for something, just ask for it. If you need those connections, ask for it, and just find those groups of women and really plug into the system, because everyone will help you and everyone will guide you, and it won't be as scary as you might think it is. I read a lot, so I'm constantly reading books and in all sorts of segments. It's not just business, because I like to branch out. I like to read poetry. I like to read fiction, and of course read business books and leadership books, but sometimes you need that creativity to just make things spark. And lately, the poem, A Dream Deferred, it's just been automatically playing in my head about like what happens to a dream deferred. And like now I just feel like my dream is just coming together and it's coming alive. And I just love to see that in other women, all these people that I'm meeting, when their dreams kind of explode and they're just like coming into that creation and creating what they want to create for their lives or for their communities or for their families. So I was actually born in Syria in a town called Homs, which because of the war the past 7 or 8 years has been completely destroyed. I came to the US really young. I was probably in kindergarten. I was around 4 or 5 years old, and grew up between Chicago and South Georgia. Totally opposite spectrums of the world, but it all contributed to like me becoming who I am, having those diverse elements in my background in my life. So I mean, I grew up kind of the total American, young life, but I had like my Syrian background, so my Syrian ethnicity, and I would spend a lot of summers in Syria, and just having that international perspective, which really kept me grounded and just rooted in a lot of just simple aspects in life, like what would we call first world problems. I kind of got to experience the complete opposite end of the spectrum, having to live in those environments in my youth. Now I really try to just keep sharing that with my own kids. So I have 3 kids. The oldest is 13, and then an 11-year-old, and then a big gap in a little 4-year-old. And my husband is actually from Venezuela, and so we have very much a mixed background. And we try to keep that alive in our kids, is just being proud of all these different ethnicities and having these international background and international flavor to life, because it just makes it more colorful. It makes it more fun and interesting. And for me, I always try to just instill in my own kids just to really feel like the whole world, the whole globe is your playground, and not to have any fear, and be proud of your background, proud of that international flavor, and just be able to go out into the world and say, hey, if I want to live in another country, I got this. I'll totally do it, and I'll just learn the languages and just use that to your advantage instead of closing in and not being so open or just being fearful. So well, it's definitely there and it's present, right? So there's always an element of fear, even when I'm always, saying you gotta bust through that fear. Don't be scared, but it's there. So you might as well just acknowledge it. But I think what's important is just to kind of take it and like hold on to it and be like, yes, I get it. I'm scared. Let's just put this to the side because I'm on a path and I'm on a journey. And yes, I'm totally carving out a path. I don't know where it's gonna go. no idea what the next steps is going to look like, what 5 years or 10 years might look like, but I know that there's a greater purpose and it's calling me to something greater than I am, and I'm going to follow it. So yes, fear is there, fear is present, and I tell people a lot, especially as we're just opening, that it's super exciting, but at the same time, it's that like, I feel like I'm going to throw up kind of fear, like when you're on top of a roller coaster and you're going to go down, but you have to just embrace it, and it's a part of life, and you enjoy the ride, and then you kind of you're able to look back in 5 years and be like, wow, I can't believe what just happened. Those make the best stories. I am so glad you actually asked me that question, because it's something I actually think about a lot, especially in the past couple years, especially. I mean, it has been a challenge because Muslim women, first of all, are never portrayed positively in the media or anywhere, whether it's in the US or global. And even myself, growing up, going through corporate, even doing what I'm doing now, I actually don't have any mentors. When people think of, well, who's your mentor? I was like, within the Muslim community, locally and globally, there aren't that many Muslim women going into business publicly. There are people that do have businesses, but most Muslim, and I feel like in the Muslim community, everyone's geared towards certain professions, which is usually medicine and engineering, or maybe education. And so to forge out and really go into business is almost uncharted territory for me. And I wish I had mentors, and I wish I had, a lot of people to look up to and be like, that's the Muslim woman I want to be in modern day times, but there really isn't. And so it is nerve-wracking for me, because I'm charting through like unknowing waters, but I'm happy to do it because we need more representation. We need to see other women in every race, ethnicity, background represented, just to show like future generations, even those coming after us, that yes, it's possible. You can have your own business. You can start your own business. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be whatever you want to be and still be who you are authentically. And even for my own daughter, like she's 11 years old. She's doing slime and all these things. And she talks to me about, I need to create a business plan. And how do I sell my products on Etsy and Instagram and all these things? And I'm so happy that she can own being a businesswoman at the age of 11. And that's an option for her going forward, is to be a businesswoman. She doesn't have to go into medicine and engineering or, the typical professions that I feel like our Muslim community tends to really dominate and focus on. So it's been a challenge because I didn't have a mentor, but I'm also like, all right, when there's nobody else out there to do it, you just got to do it yourself. And I'm just going to forge the way and just, be there for other women who might want to take this on in the future. And that's something that we get asked a lot. And I want to say that, Hera Hub is female focused. It's a space that's designed by women for women, but it's not exclusive to women. So if there are men, and we actually have had men pop in and just say, I kind of like the Zen environment, can I just work here? And I'm like, yes, go ahead, have a seat, But we're just creating a landing space that for women that they don't have elsewhere, because I do feel like there is a power in community, and there's a power in giving a space to women for themselves to be able to come together, discuss, connect, collaborate, and just being there for them that isn't available elsewhere. So I do feel it is important to have women-focused spheres, like a landing space for women, and keep it that focus, providing that space that's comfortable for women, but at the same time not exclusive to other genders. Easiest way is a website. It's just herahub.com, herahub.com/Phoenix.
Thank you so much, Shatha, for the interview. I have met some amazing people through Shatha who I hope to interview in the future. I said it is a nexus of genius. So please go check out Hera Hub Phoenix, get a tour. If you like this video, if you are a motivational entrepreneur or a spirit entrepreneur, click thumbs up and the subscribe button so you never miss a video. And remember, You are courageous.